Girlfriend feels terrible we had to leave Doctor Strange because of her. No spoilers for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in this post. 24 male. I'm a huge Marvel fan and I've been looking forward to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for months and I have been hyped for it. My girlfriend, 24, is autistic and has some sensory issues, but she told me even though she doesn't have much interest in Marvel she wanted to see it with me because she knew how important it was to me and she wanted to share the experience. She goes to the movies on weekdays during the day when no one is there and does okay with that, so she thought we'd be okay with a 3 p.m. showing on a Thursday. However, I don't think she realized just how packed it would be and that right off the bat was a bad sign for her. Then without any spoilers, there was a part where everyone started cheering and yelling, and I saw she was starting to get overstimulated. She started to lean over with a death grip on her ears and her eyes were squeezed shut and she was gritting her teeth. So I immediately got her out of there and we went to my car and got her overstimulation kit out of her bag and turned on her music. Fortunately, she was able to calm down and avert a meltdown. When we got home, she felt horrible and started crying. She said she was the worst girlfriend in the world, and didn't deserve any love at all, and she ruined it like she ruins everything, and she repeatedly told me how sorry she was that I had to leave the movie. I told her she was the most wonderful girlfriend in the world and that I was not mad at her in any way and it was absolutely not her fault we had to leave, but then she told me that if I had just gone without her it wouldn't have happened. I kept telling her that she was much more important to me than the movie and I wasn't mad at her or blamed her, but she wouldn't accept any of it and just continued to insist it was all her fault. Since then, she's kinda isolated herself and has shut me out a bit and hasn't talked to me a whole lot. It seems she feels so ashamed and guilty for what happened even though I did my best to make it clear to her how okay it really is and how I'm not mad. Is there anything I can do? Too long did not read. Girlfriend started to have a sensory overload when we saw Doctor Strange today and we had to leave and she feels beyond awful about it and too guilty to talk to me now. P.S. In case I have to say, I am not in any way mad at her for what happened. I'm just happy she's okay and I'm touched she wanted to share that experience with me and I'll definitely watch the rest with her when it comes out on DVD. You two sound like a great couple. I think just give her time, and continue to reassure her. One thing I would suggest though is considering, and discussing with her, going back to see it alone at the movies if you miss out entirely on the cinema experience of it. She may feel worse, more guilty. Honestly she sounds both extremely embarrassed and feeling extremely guilty. Give her a bit of time to process how she's feeling and then just give her a hug and take her out for a quiet meal at her favorite place to eat. As a fellow autist the calm down time after a bad episode is very important and my brain is completely scrambled until I can relax. She sounds beyond sweet trying to get out of her comfort zone for your benefit and it would be wonderful if you continue to let her know how much you love and appreciate her. And don't worry, you're doing just fine as it is. You don't have to feel bad that your reassurances aren't working just yet because when she comes down from the rampant emotions she will appreciate your patience. I'll probably get downvoted for this but man there's nothing worse than people who start clapping and cheering during a movie. Like it's not a sporting event, it's a fucking movie. Sit down. Shut the fuck up and let the others in the theater try to enjoy the movie in peace. As someone who got broken up with after 2 years being together because I had a sensory overload, this post made me cry. The movie will be viewable on TV at some point. Tell her you are looking forward to seeing the movie with her at home. You love her company and her comfort matters to you. There's less stimuli at home and you can always pause the movie if she needs a break. Neurodivergent is very difficult for most but you're doing everything right. I give you a gold star. Found flirtatious messages with coworker on girlfriend's phone. Hello. Last night I, 22M, went through my girlfriend's, 22F, phone while she was asleep. I'm not one to do things like this, but recently she had been mentioning a new coworker, a male much older than her, who is flirting with her quite often. For some reason, my senses were telling me there was more to this story. So I went through her phone. I found an insane amount of flirtatious messaging between the two of them. Instantly, I woke her up and confronted her about what I just found. She broke down crying begging me not to leave her and that the only reason she did it was because she just started receiving attention for once in her life. I don't know what if this is considered cheating but she has lost all of my trust. I don't know what steps to take and would really appreciate advice on how to handle this situation. Thanks. Edit. She broke up with me for setting new boundaries. People here will have different boundaries around what they consider cheating, but to me this is cheating. and #X200B. She's encouraging another guy and she's getting emotionally involved with him. She has accepted his flirty advances and encouraged them, and sent flirty advances of her own. This is emotional cheating, and it's a hop, skip and a jump to physical cheating. And #X200B. For me, I'd walk away instantly. If some other man turns her head that easily, then she's not happy with or fully committed to you. Just leave. She's clearly not loyal, and craving attention is not an excuse. Whenever a woman cries like this, it's because she did you wrong. Leave this girl. My ex-wife did a very similar thing. Note the usage of the term ex here. If she is so desperate for attention that she's willing to throw your relationship away, then she shouldn't be in relationship right now. Don't allow yourself to be disrespected like this. Let her go out and get all the attention she wants as a single person. If she likes the attention so much, then she can go enjoy it all she wants, cause you don't deserve that. Cheating. Dump her and move on. Boyfriend puts married female friend ahead of me. Been dating 53M for 3 years. His married college friend 51F has been rude and condescending to me numerous times. Although he witnessed her being rude, he never said anything to her. He did acknowledge some of her crass actions. He would blame me and excuse her. She lives in CA but travels to MA monthly for her job. Every time she comes into town, his priority is her, and I am not invited to hang out with them. Because of COVID, she was not able to travel. For the past year, I have been playing second fiddle when A is in town. When she got married, her husband had 2 physical altercations with my now ex-BF. In the past few months, A and my ex-boyfriend have been on 2 vacations. I'm feeling awful, and he keeps saying I'm overreacting. Is he your boyfriend or ex? Whatever he is, you must know that he's actively carrying on an affair with her, right? I know it's tough to process and you're probably being gaslighted, but I'd say there is a 99.6% chance they're in an active affair. So I'll call her husband. To everyone, you all took time out of your day to help a person you don't know. Your kind words had my day, and I will never forget it. I was struggling for the past few weeks. My sense of self was depleted. This is what emotional abuse does to people. It robs people of their intuition. You question who you are. And #X200B. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. I'll update if anything happens. J. Today, I told him it is over. Blocked his number, and my friends are getting my stuff from his house tomorrow. His is my ex-jerk. Ex-gaslighter. Anytime your partner puts others' feelings above yours is a problem and is not right. My husband isn't talking to me because I grilled hot dogs. This sounds ridiculous, and it pretty much is. Background. I, 36 female. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids and another on the way within the next month. My husband, 35 male, is gone frequently for work. We've both been married before. My ex-husband was abusive and his ex-wife was a cheater. When I got into a relationship with him, I knew he had issues with trust because of a hard childhood and then what happened to his ex. I try to be understanding of his trust issues and not overreact when he gets accusatory over little things. I have never and will never cheat on him, and try to not do anything that would give him even reason to be suspicious. But I find even the most innocent things, he'll turn into an accusation of wrongdoing. Lighting a candle when he isn't home. Him hearing me walk around upstairs before he comes up. Me missing a call and calling back 10 minutes later. Tonight I sent him a video of our toddler son pretending to clean the mini grill we have on our porch. His text reply was that our son must have a great memory, or I've been grilling while he's not home. I told him that I did indeed use the grill for my first time ever last week to cook hot dogs. He then got upset because I hadn't told him that I had grilled hot dogs. The truth is I hadn't mentioned it to him before because I was afraid of this very kind of reaction, that he'd be suspicious of me doing something out of the ordinary. Also, he gets overly paranoid, and I didn't want to deal with him thinking I was gonna burn the house down or thinking that I'm incapable. The second part of my reasoning is what I told him. He says something doesn't feel right and that he'll figure it out, whatever it is. I tried to call him before bed, so we could talk like we normally do, and he said he had nothing to say to me. And repeated that he'll figure it out. Refused to give me an answer when I asked him what he was trying to figure out. He told my bye and ignored when I told him I loved him. I really don't know what to do anymore. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm scared. I love him and most of the time things are great between us, but I don't want to keep living a life where I'm scared to do or say anything because he might twist it into me being up to no good. I keep hoping that by being honest and loyal that I will prove to him that he can trust me, but it seems like he never really will. And I'm scared that one day he's going to leave me when I haven't even done anything wrong. And now I'm regretting that we are even having another child, which makes me feel incredibly guilty. How do I show him that he can trust me, and how should I respond when he throws accusations at me? Too long did not read. Husband has trust issues and isn't speaking to me because I cooked hot dogs on the grill last week and didn't tell him, and he finds that suspicious. When he is pouting, be very clear that you are not going to entertain his moods, and he either needs to jump into couples counseling with you to work through his blatant trust issues, or he needs to recognize that they are a him problem all on his big boy own. A hard childhood just means it pushed him in the river. It's up to him if he wants to wallow or get out. It's also up to you how much of this you want to stand for versus starting the process of becoming independent of him. I'm not saying jump straight to divorce tomorrow, but there are smaller steps you can take to make yourself more secure. How sure are you that his ex-wife cheated? Maybe he was paranoid and emotionally abusive to her, and that's why they broke up. Stop tiptoeing around him. He will never trust you because this issue isn't really about lack of trust. It's about him managing to control you through fear. Get yourself some individual therapy, skip the couples counseling. You need to take your life back. You were afraid to tell your husband that you grilled hot dogs because you knew he would get suspicious. Now he's giving you the silent treatment. Big red flags. You won't trick me, girl, I know what you did. You had your new boy toy over and you obviously tried to impress him by making him hot dogs for dinner. I bet you even got all fancy and toasted the buns. You know your husband is insane, right? He sounds abusive, and he also sounds like he's projecting. When they constantly accuse you, they're likely doing it themselves. Honestly, he sounds paranoid and emotionally abusive. Since you have 4 kids together, you should make him go into couples counseling. If it wasn't for the kids, I would tell you to run away as fast as you could. Because those are some big bright red flags he's waving around. You didn't tell him you were grilling hot dogs because he'd think you were being suspicious. He's clearly a crazy dude or projecting.